what if the next wedding in the ton is not the one anyone expected? At the end of the last season, everyone was watching Benedict and Sophie celebrate their love. The music was playing, the guests were smiling, and the Bridgerton family stood together like they always do. But in the middle of that happy moment, one simple question changed everything. Kate Bridgerton looked around and asked the question every viewer was already thinking: whose wedding do you think we will be attending next? It sounded like a light and playful comment, but the answers that followed were anything but simple, because standing there were two sisters who seemed completely certain about their future. Two women who believed love and marriage were not part of their path anymore. And yet, Season 5 of Bridgerton is about to challenge everything they said. Section 1. Two sisters standing at the edge of change. The final wedding scene of Season 4 looked peaceful on the surface, but if you paid close attention, it quietly set up the entire future of the show. While the tons celebrated the marriage of Benedict and Sophie, the camera slowly moved toward two other Bridgerton sisters. These two women could not be more different from each other, yet they were both standing at a turning point in their lives. The first sister was Eloise Bridgerton. For years, Eloise has been the most independent voice in the family. She has never hidden her feelings about marriage, while her siblings dreamed about romance, balls, and finding a husband or wife. Eloise always questioned the system around her. She never believed a woman's life should be limited to marriage. In fact, she often joked that she preferred watching weddings rather than being the person walking down the aisle. And at Benedict's wedding, she said exactly that. When Kate asked whose wedding might be next, Eloise answered with a smile that she loved weddings, but only as a guest, not as the bride. It sounded like the same Eloise we had always known, confident, independent, a little rebellious. But if you watched her closely throughout the season, something had already started to change inside her, because the world around Eloise was changing. One by one, her siblings were finding love and building families of their own. Each wedding added another chapter to the Bridgerton story, and slowly, Eloise was beginning to see something she had ignored before. Marriage was not always a cage. Sometimes it was a partnership. Sometimes it created something beautiful. And that quiet realization was beginning to soften her once unbreakable walls. Standing beside her at that same wedding was her sister Francesca Bridgerton, whose story had taken a completely different path. While Eloise had spent years avoiding love, Francesca had already experienced it. Her marriage to John Sterling was gentle, calm, and deeply meaningful. Their relationship was never loud or dramatic, but it was full of quiet understanding. They built a life together that felt steady and safe. And for Francesca, that love was enough. But then tragedy changed everything. John passed away, leaving Francesca suddenly alone in a world that once felt full of promise. The future she imagined disappeared almost overnight. The house they shared, the plans they made, and the dreams they built together were suddenly just memories. At the wedding celebration, when Kate asked about the next Bridgerton marriage, Francesca's answer carried the weight of that loss. She said she had already experienced her great love, and once was enough. It was not bitterness in her voice. It was certainty. Francesca believed she had already lived the most important love story of her life. In her mind, there was nothing left to search for, so there they stood, two sisters, one who had never believed in marriage, and another who believed she had already finished her love story. From the outside, both of them looked like the least likely candidates to lead the next romantic chapter of the Bridgerton world. But that is exactly what makes the situation so fascinating, because the creators of the show have quietly confirmed something that changed the entire conversation about the future seasons. During the Season 4 premiere event, the showrunner Jess Brownell appeared wearing a small but very interesting detail. On her outfit were pocket squares, embroidered with two letters, E and F. Those two letters confirmed that the next two seasons will focus on Eloise and Francesca. But when she was asked which sister's story would come first, she simply smiled and said she could not reveal the order. That small answer created a mystery that fans immediately started trying to solve. Because both sisters now stand at a moment where their beliefs about love could be challenged. Eloise might finally discover that her heart is capable of something she once rejected. Francesca might learn that love can return even after the deepest loss, and the clues pointing toward each of them are surprisingly strong. Some viewers believe Eloise is the most likely lead because the show has already introduced an important figure from her story. In the books written by Julia Quinn, Eloise eventually forms a relationship with Sir Philip Crane, a quiet and thoughtful man who connects with her in a very unusual way. Instead of meeting at a ball or during a dramatic encounter, their relationship begins through letters. For nearly a year, they write to each other without ever meeting face to face. Through those letters, they slowly share their thoughts, their fears, and their dreams. It becomes a slow and emotional journey that allows Eloise to discover a completely new side of herself. For a character who spends so much time thinking and questioning the world, this kind of love story could be perfect. But Francesca's story is just as powerful.